Here it is, the Spearmaster DPS Paragon. After so many years I can finally enjoy playing a Paragon, so I wanted to max out Spear Mastery as much as possible, hence why I choose Heroic Refrain. However, it was very tempting to try the new versions of Cruel Spear and Stunning Strike too. Maybe the next Paragon builds will be with those elites. Anyway, with this HR build you can probably do the highest spear damage as a Paragon, which means 100 plus damage on casters and 80 to 90 damage on heavy armor targets. Now this may not be a big deal at first glance, but the updated Mighty Throw with the help of 4 Great Justice can create a very powerful combination. You know, before the last skill balance, Mighty Throw used to have a very long 3 seconds activation time. Luckily the developers wanted to buff the Paragon class, so now Mighty Throw can be activated very quickly, like in half seconds, and the 2 adrenaline cost can be easily achieved with 4 Great Justice due to the double adrenaline gain. This way our Paragons can finally deal decent single target damage, and let's not forget we can still buff the whole party with Heroic Refrain and give everybody a very comfy +4 increase on all attributes. If this wouldn't be enough, we still have the OG defensive buffs like Save Yourselves, and there is nothing to fear. Adrenaline can be gained very quickly with the new version of Make Your Time, and basically Make Your Time and Save Yourselves go hand in hand, and you can almost maintain the +100 armor permanently with only these 2 skills. Finally, there is Aggressive Refrain. This also received a nice buff recently, only 15 energy cost now and only 1 sec activation time, and you can add another Spear Mastery skill if you want. I choose Merciless Spear, it works as a finisher skill, causing a nice deep wound on the target. There is one thing that I could never get used to with these Heroic Refrain builds though, the non-stop spamming of shouts to maintain the elite on the whole party. Because of that, unless you want to go crazy, I highly recommend Anthem of Flame on a hero. You know, the hero AI can maintain this skill very easily, unlike us humans, and you won't have to worry about spamming a skill like they are on fire all the time. So actually this build has very high damage output and very high defensive ability as well. You may say that the dagger spam HR builds were better, but remember that you had to be a secondary assassin, meaning with that build you couldn't access Save Yourselves. Big difference in terms of team defense. By the way, here you can see my attributes, weapons and runes. 16 leadership is a must-have to get the +4 attribute thing. Spear Mastery can be lowered if you are worried about using 2 -75 HP runes. However, the Paragon is very tanky and I had no problems with 440 HP, not even in hard mode. For weapons, maybe a Vampiric Spear is a good choice, but it makes little difference when you can destroy a target in just 5 seconds. Runes are the following: Leadership +1/+3 headpiece, a Spear Mastery rune of your choice, 5 Centurion insignias, a Superior Vigor and 2 Attunement or Vitae runes. The build is quite easy to use. First thing first, use Heroic Refrain twice in a row. This way you can increase your attributes by 4 points and reach 20 leadership easily. Then use Aggressive Refrain, and from this point on just give everyone HR in your group. You can give yourself Blood's Power to help with the energy regen too, and advise to start the buffing with the mesmers first, then give the buffs to everybody else. It takes around 2 minutes to buff everyone in the party, so you better start doing your quest, your mission or whatever you are doing first, and don't just stand there and wait for the elite skill to recharge. Okay, now find an enemy group and start with There Is Nothing to Fear, then Make Your Time and Save Yourselves. These will make roughly a 90% damage reduction for the party, and after that just use 4 Great Justice and start spamming Mighty Spear. Use it as often as you can, preferably on healers first, and finish your target with Merciless Spear. Only use the latter when your target has less than 50% HP. And that's all you got to do, and when you feel like your teammates need more protection, just use Make Your Time and Save Yourselves again, because this combo will always generate enough adrenaline for you to save your teammates. Regarding weaknesses, the build has only a few skills that make adrenaline build slowly, for example, or a hex called Vocal Minority that prevents the use of shouts. Obviously heroes will remove the hex easily and only a very few enemies possess this skill in the game, so this won't stop you for long. Anyway, the usual anti-martial, anti-melee skills will hurt, of course, like ineptitude, empathy, clumsiness, etc. Okay, now let's see what hero skills are worth using. Number 1 is Brutal Weapon or Splinter Weapon. You know, Brutal Weapon is great for single target damage, Splinter is good for a nice AoE spike. If you choose Splinter, you can rely on enchantments like Judge's Insight. I think the hero AI can use this skill properly now, and will only give it to martial weapon users finally. Then skills that give extra adrenaline can help too, like Dark Fury, Mark of Fury, but these are only optional and aren't a must-have, since Paragons are the masters of building up adrenaline, and Mighty Throw only costs 2 adrenaline anyway, so you'll be fine just with 4 Great Justice and make your time. Cracked Armor can obviously help with the DPS, the Necro skill Weaken Armor was changed to half sec activation time now, heroes will use it really fast, probably worth bringing this skill on a hero. And now let's see some variants. If you want a more defensive version, you can try skills from the command or motivation group. For example, Blade Turn Refrain is a good one. So if you change your headpiece for some time in the buffing phase, you can give everyone in the party 13% block chance, and this can also be maintained permanently and nothing can remove it from your allies. The same can be done with the Mending Refrain. This way you can maintain plus 3 HP regen on the whole party. Or in other words, you can give everybody 6 HP each second forever. Or you can try skills like Ballad of Restoration, it has a decent party-wide healing ability, or Area of Zeal for energy management. And guys, good to know, many of the motivation chants were also buffed in the last skill update, and now these skills are significantly better due to the lowered 10 sec recharge time. If you are fighting mobs where blocking is an issue, choose Azuran Scan instead of one of your PvE only skills, or even try the new version of Unblockable Throw. It deals the same damage as Mighty Throw, but this attack can be blocked. Then skills like Drunken Master are also a good option to reach the maximum 33% attacking speed, or I am the strongest, I am unstoppable, depending on where you adventure. Even Ebon Battle Standard of Honor can help. Enduring Harmony is also a good skill, however keep in mind that the 50% longer duration on all shouts and chants can backfire sometimes and make you lose your heroic refrain simply because shouts will last too long. Alright, let's do some tests on the Master of Damage NPC. 699 damage in 5 seconds. Now compare this to the Shadow Theft Assassin, for example. 740 damage in 5 seconds, so the Paragon's damage is still inferior to the Dagger Spammer's damage, but it's closer than ever. However, keep in mind there is no AoE damage on the Paragon's build, meaning Dagger Spam and some other builds will still be better in terms of pure damage. Anyway, this heroic refrain build with Mighty Throw is a lot of fun. You make the whole party stronger and also deal decent damage with the spear, something that was not really possible before. To me, this is easily meta category, and I highly recommend this build for those who are not Paragon fans due to the support only builds, but finally we can do some decent damage as a Spear Mastery Paragon and feel like a true Spartan in the Guild Wars universe. Anyway, I have many new ideas due to the skill balance stuff, so stay tuned because I will try to post a new build video every 1 or 2 days. See you in the next one.